What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to All Things Football. After a long, boring international break, which saw England go 1-1 to Poland, we are back. Club football, Premier League football is just a couple of days away, and we're going to start it off by going through what we believe to be the top 10 strikers or attacking players in the Premier League. We are joined today by Alex, CFC, and Sam, who supports Arsenal, unfortunately. Obviously, we have myself and Ibs, who are, of course, Manchester United fans. Manchester United fans buoyed by the arrival of Cristiano Ronaldo, who was finally properly announced with an announcement video, I think about an hour ago.
I don't think that's properly announced. I think there has to be something bigger than that.
Now, do you know what?
That was not enough.
Do you know what I think that is? You see how Varane came out? There was a lot of confusion. Is he going to even play? When he came out, and that was obviously confirmation that he's not playing today. I think that video is confirmation that he's starting against Newcastle. Because if that video didn't come out, a lot of people would have been like, he's just going to walk out in front of Old Trafford, isn't he? But I think, I'm happy enough with that. I want him to obviously play against Newcastle. And I have him very high up on my list, obviously, as he's the highest goal scorer in the history of football and a Manchester United legend who hasn't even retired yet. So, Ibs, I think you're going to have to take it from here.
You know, before we actually get into the video, I want to know each of you. I already know Alex and Anton, but where did you all play, like in football? What was each of your positions or positions now, actually? We'll start with Sam.
Oh, listen, I don't like attack. I'm not a really good attacker. I always stayed at the back, more of a defensive midfielder role and centre back. That's why I mostly played out. And listen, I think that's the position where you have the most fun. Listen, this team. Listen, I need some better than that guy. Listen, Arsenal should have signed me up instead of Ben White. But it's fun. It's fun being back at the back.
Yeah, Alex.
I don't know, a bit everywhere, man. A bit everywhere.
You literally everywhere.
I was a bit everywhere. I was everywhere. I literally could have played for Brentford in goal, but then also played other way, midfield, defense. A bit everywhere. And
up front,
maybe. Well, yeah, I guess when I was younger, but yeah, a bit everywhere. A bit of an all-rounder, but a bit of like a joker. If you have to place a joker in a game, I'll be that joker player. I'll be that joker card in a team. But I never had a set position, I guess.
Anton.
You see, I'm gonna do the usual, a bit of everywhere. From when I was young, I think I started my first position I remember was right back.
Right.
Then you slowly when you're like 5 or 6, you progress. You always want to go forward. Then I started playing on the wings. Went up front when I was like 10. Then I was like, I score goals, but I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy having to chase all the long balls. I slowly but surely regressed into the centre midfield position and then made it my own. Then once you hit semi-pro, when you're a centre midfielder DM, you always get put back into that centre back, right back position. So I had to firm a couple of years at centre back. But what I've done, I found myself again and I've started enjoying it again, playing box to box. That is my position. Box to box midfield. You can get up and down, almost have like a free license, I guess. I'd say a little bit less discipline required from you, which is something which suits me very, very well. What about you, Ibs, finally?
Goal scorer, that was me. Goal scorer. I mean, the 80th challenge does not show that I can score goals. But yeah, okay. Striker was always my position. And then just before secondary score, I was on the wing. And then, yeah, a bit of both wing and striker. But 80th challenge, part 2, whenever that happens.
I'm coming back down soon, man. Gonna have to show you lot up.
Yeah, whenever that happens, you'll see that I'm a goal scorer. So yeah, that leads us on to the top 10 goal scorers, strikers in the Prem. And yeah, all of us submitted our lists to myself, and then I just collated it. And in number 10, Cavani.
Okay.
Cavani, 10th. I mean, he wasn't my number 10, but
I'm gonna check where I had him because you guys have done us dirty here.
I didn't even have Cavani in my team. My team, my top 10.
I had Cavani 4th. I believe him to be the 4th best striker in the league. 10th. Hey, Ibs, where did you have Cavani?
I had Cavani 9th.
Oh, jeez.
And then because Alex didn't even have him in the list.
I didn't have mine.
I didn't have him.
No.
Sam didn't either. So therefore,
I'm the reason he's 10th.
therefore he has to be 10th because literally.
I
Wait, why
find-
did you put him 4th then?
We're talking about Edinson Cavani, the conqueror of Serie A, the conqueror of PSG, the all-time PSG's all-time record goal scorer. He scored hundreds of goals and he's been one of the best strikers over the past decade. He comes to Manchester United, doesn't start straight away because he picks up an injury. But without him in that second half of the season, we don't get to the Europa League final. We don't even score in the Europa League final. We don't win a lot of the games we win. Comebacks, he's... if you put Cavani, would you start Ings ahead of Cavani?
Yeah.
There's no way you guys are trolling me.
But
Yeah,
I'm
but
talking about in the Prem.
Cavani.
In the Prem. Like,
In the Prem,
what
he doesn't. He did very well in the second half of last season when he was available for selection. It's not like he was playing and dropping stinkers. He was playing, and he was the reason we were scoring. Do you know what I mean?
I think if you brought in Cavani, it'd be from. I mean, this is going to be his role this season. I think coming off the bench when you need the goal the most, he's the man to do it.
Yeah.
So he does deliver the job. But I think in the Premier League, in terms of the past couple of years, I think Ings have been one of the most underrated strikers in the Prem. He hit 20 goals in 1920, and I think 15 goals, 14 goals around last season. So Ings has been impressive for the last 2 seasons, and he got a good
He has, but we're talking about Cavani here. Of course, circumstances have led him to be in a position where people were even talking about the termination of his contract. People were saying, look, he might be the third choice, he might be the second choice, but that's because we have someone else now. And when that someone else comes in, there probably isn't a single player in the past 40 years that displaces him. Do you know what I mean? So Cavani is going to be in a position where he's going to be on 5 or 6 league goals at the end of the season, or maybe even less, because he's just not going to get that game time. So all of the stats from here on out aren't going to be able to back any argument that I make. But Cavani is a world-class. It's tough. It's tough.
You see, now you've realized. Now all of this explaining, you've realized he's not where you put him.
He's still. I'm not going to change where I put him. But I didn't want to say world class because then I'll just contradict what I've always said. World class, I believe they're probably 15 to 20 world class players, because world class players for me make up a world 11 and a bench. That's what world class means to me. So I can't call Cavani world class, but that's why I asked, would you start Ings ahead of him? Would you start Jimenez ahead of him? Would you start Calvert-Lewin ahead of him? Because I know them players are going to be on all of your lists, but not Cavani. Do you know what I mean? You're talking about the pedigree of a player who's been there and done it, who's scored goals wherever he's gone, who's carried teams. He's carried us last season, and he's not in the top 10. That's why he's 4th for me.
Yeah, I can't, because he hasn't been in the Prem for that long. Yeah, he's done it for PSG and in the Champions League, but in the Prem, no, not as a Prem.
I'm gonna remember you said that.
Not as a Prem striker. No, he's not. He's not top 5 in the Prem.
I'm gonna remember you said that.
Yeah, you can remember.
Because what you just said. Yeah, we're gonna clip that. We're gonna clip that, cut it, and then cut it to the bit where I know I'm gonna have to bring it up.
But yeah, in 9th place, I don't know how, but Aubameyang.
Oh,
Jesus is Lord. You're telling me Obama Bum is 9th and Cavani is 10th.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, Anton, I never put him on my list. He's not even in my top 10. So someone else put Aubameyang in.
I didn't have him in my list.
I put him 10th. I
put him.
What's going on?
I put him. Where did I put him? Wait.
Ibs, you must have put him low.
Yeah, okay. I put him 7th.
Oh,
I put him 7th because he's done it. He's done it in the Prem. His first season. Wait, what was his stats for the first season in the Prem?
he scored 10 goals when he came in January. So January
and then the next season, pretty sure was he Golden Boot with Kane.
Didn't he get Golden Boot with Salah and Mane as well?
Yeah, he did also. No, I'm basing mine on form, but for him as a striker in the Prem, in the last 3-4 years, he's probably been top 3, probably. I think.
Yeah, 100%. I mean,
As a striker, like he's probably, but he's
That's
carried
what I'm saying.
Arsenal.
That's how I'm saying it, based on like how we know they can be, and
Yeah.
not like right now, but as a striker.
Nope.
Oh, Alex
Oh.
is gone. But yeah, as a striker, I think he's that good.
I
I think
mean,
he's definitely top 10.
I mean, there's two Aubameyang. There's one before his contract renewal, well, I think he's been playing some of the best football in his life, scoring a brace in the FA Cup semi-final and the FA Cup final, carrying us towards the FA Cup. And then even the first game of the season, he was looking good. And then after that contract extension, he just fell off a cliff, He just
Okay.
he struggled. He
I'm listening
struggled.
to all your arguments here. You're talking about post-contract and pre-contract.
Yep.
I'm just gonna have to change my list. Martial second, because I'm gonna have to talk about
Martial second.
I'm gonna have to change my list. If you're talking about
second, or you mean like second best striker?
No, I'm joking. The second was an exaggeration, but I didn't put Martial on my list. If you're talking about pre-contract Aubameyang, who definitely would have been in the top 5 on this list, compared to Aubameyang now, who definitely isn't even in the top 10.
Listen, I think with Aubameyang, this is his last season at Arsenal. I don't think we'll see him in the Premier League again. So this is his last season, and you won't even have much of a role to play this season in my eyes.
Are we going to add these variables in? Because if we are, then Martial is easy top 7, top 6 in the league.
He doesn't belong in the top 10, all right? Not
now. Aubameyang doesn't either, because what has he done? He puts that armband on and the face and a clown mask because he's finished. He's finished at Arsenal, I believe. I don't think he has much of a future there. And we could say the same about Martial. I'm just using that as an example. If you want to talk about pre-contract and post-contract Aubameyang, then I have to talk about the Martial that we know is there compared to the one that we have now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we have to be careful because I could have.
So you're saying that? Wait, so you don't agree on 10th and you don't agree on 9th?
I don't disagree on 9th, but I don't agree with it if he's there because of the Aubameyang that was slapping goals a couple of years ago compared to the one now.
Listen, I think you're going off because I never put him in the top 10. I was going off form. I think, listen, Upper doesn't deserve to be in this list. Right now, I'd rank I put Antonio over Aubameyang.
Yeah, I got Antonio. Decent number in my list, actually. Because even not on form, like I feel like now that he has better service, he's able to get better chances because he takes shots from everywhere, but he's getting himself into better positions and he's actually getting the ball. So, it will result in more goals. Because West Ham are a better team than they were 2 years ago,
Yeah, David Moyes got them ball in. That's what I would say. He's done a very good job, He's done better than Arteta.
We should have given him time.
You should have given
David Moyes.
No. No way. But 8th place, Everton player, Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
I hear that. Yeah.
Alex had him in his list, and
I did as well.
Yeah. Anton, you didn't.
Do you know why? I completely forgot he existed. I just forgot he existed. I went through every team. When I made the list, I had the fantasy up on my phone, and I was just scrolling through all the teams. I was thinking, what strikers play for these clubs? And I just completely... Do I have Richarlison on my list?
Yes.
Yeah,
oh my goodness.
I completely forgot about Calvert-Lewin. Like, I genuinely forgot he was a person. I would have had him in my list.
He's the one scoring the goals for Everton.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. I made a mistake. I would have had him in my list, and I would have had him about fifth or 6th. Yeah, that is a howler from me. He would have been higher if I had him in.
Yeah,
list.
I had. Wait. Okay, I didn't even have him in my list. I didn't actually have him in my list. I thought I did. So it was just Alex and Sam that had him. But Sam, why did you have him last?
I mean, listen, I think there are players who have shown to be better than Calvert-Lewin in the Prem, and on form are better than Calvert-Lewin. But Calvert-Lewin is above many players. He's above. I see he's one tier below in elite. I think it's hard to explain about Calvert-Lewin because you don't see many strikers like that anymore. You know, he learned from Duncan Ferguson, I believe. You know, he contributed. Talked about his game comparing it to Duncan Ferguson. You know, a target man, and he's been doing that well this season. It showed last season. I think he was the best player after James Rodriguez fizzled out after arriving at Everton. Calvert-Lewin was Everton's best player, and he was the only bright spot of a disappointing season on the Ancelotti. And now Benitez is coming, and he's still balling out. You know, against Leeds the other day, I think he put another great performance in, and it's shushing the Leeds crowd. And I think he scored in the last 2 or 3 games he scored for Everton. So yeah, 3 goals this season.
No, I think he's still very young. I still think he can improve so much more. He's got an aerial threat. All he needs is crosses into the box, you know, get there. He's literally always in the box, and that's where you score goals. And not many strikers are always in the box. For example, he said Martial. He's not. If he was to play strike, he's not always going to be in the box. But Calvert-Lewin is always there. You can put a cross in, and you know he's going to get there and finish it. That's why I didn't put him in my list, but maybe I should have.
I personally think he could improve his game on the ball. Because he's someone that gets in and stuff. You're talking about him learn from Duncan Ferguson. When commentators and pundits, something like Match of the Day or Sky Sports talk about him, the words like he's a traditional English striker, that sort of stuff gets said about him because he's so good at, you know, taking Jordan Pickford's goal kicks or throwouts. He can win the flick-ons because he has such a great leap. He has that build. He's tall. He's really tall as well. Like he has everything in his favor and he exploits his height and his certain strengths. But I think what he needs to do to get to the next level is add a different type of goal to his game. I'm talking about goals from outside the area are important nowadays because of all of the build-up play that happens. Look at England the other day. You have Jack Grealish and Mount on one side, get the ball to the byline, cut back, and then it's just right on the edge, playing on the edge of the area. If you have someone there like Harry Kane, look, Harry Kane's goal, shot from outside the box. I couldn't see Dominic Calvert-Lewin scoring a goal like that.
But not many strikers can. Lewandowski's the best in the world. He can't do that.
And I think he also needs Dominic Calvert-Lewin needs to improve his play on the ball in terms of like his dribbling ability. Because look, Everton are a team that I might be bugging out. I'm not 100% sure, but they play on the counter attack quite a lot.
I mean, that's always been Benitez's style, hasn't it? You know,
yeah. Like we have. I'm trying to think of all our Manchester United strikers. We play on the counter attack. Like that's what we do. We have the striker. You have Martial who can run with the ball and beat a couple of players. You have Rashford, when he plays up front, he can do exactly the same thing. Greenwood can do the same thing. Even Bruno can do the same thing. Now we have Ronaldo who can do the same thing. Everton playing on the counter. If Calvert-Lewin picks up the ball on a counter attack, can you see him skinning someone 40 yards and getting a shot off? I can't see him doing that. Calvert-Lewin is someone that is in the box and gets on in the stuff. I think to improve, he needs to add those different dimensions to his game. It just opens up more possibilities of getting goals and basically getting better stats.
Yeah, the thing with Calvert-Lewin, I think next step for him, I think a move away to another club, potentially a Man City who are still in the market for a striker, just to elevate his game, you know, because him along with Jack Grealish, Bernardo Silva, you know, Kyle Walker crossing the balls in throughout the pitch, Kevin De Bruyne, he should consider a move to Man City or move away.
I feel like he's not at that level yet.
Yeah.
To move to Champions League, I don't think he's at that level yet. He's still young, so he still has time to improve.
24?
Yeah.
20, maybe 25?
Yeah, 24, turning 25 in a couple months, yeah.
How did you just know that?
No, I went on his Premier League profile.
Yeah. Oh, I'm about to say, I thought that's a bit weird, man.
But yeah, he is still second top goal scorer in the league at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ibs is right though. If you put him in the Champions League, I think he'll be playing for a team in the Champions League who won't progress from the group. I can't see him in the Man City side because in the Premier League you have the top 4. For the past 4 or 5 years, we've been saying the top 6. I think now it's gone back to the top 4 because of I can't see anyone other than United, Chelsea, Liverpool, or City breaking into the top 4. So I think Everton, they're not a top 6 side either. I think if he was to leave, he would have had to be in a Kane replacement in my opinion for Tottenham or something. That would have been the next step up for him, because Tottenham are a step above Everton, but they're not at the level of a top 4 side. He wouldn't have fit in at Chelsea because I think he would have been too similar to someone like Tammy Abraham, who has the same frame, same type of goal scoring ability. Wouldn't go to Man United because we've been linked with him before, but I just couldn't. I never ever saw it working out for him at us. Maybe even Arsenal, man. I could see him playing for Arsenal one day, and I say that because
everyone gets into Arsenal.
Nah, in all fairness to Arsenal, look, at the moment you guys are not good, and you know that. You're going to be the first ones to admit that. But if you had a player like Calvert-Lewin, and I know this gets said about every player that goes to Arsenal, but I genuinely think he could be a very big factor in what takes you up, heading in the direction where you want to be. You have a young striker who's proven himself in the Premier League, playing for your club, who can lead the line well. When he's done it by himself, he's played solo striker a lot for Everton. Arsenal are a step up from Everton as well. They got a bigger club, bigger history in every aspect of the word. I mean, Calvert-Lewin needs to take one more step. He needs to leave Everton, take one more step before he gets to a top 4 side. Aside pushing Europa League, the latter stages of the Europa League, before he gets to the Champions League, because we have him as the 8th best striker in the league here. Anyone can argue and say, look, he's way better than 8th. Maybe you could put him top 5, and I don't think you'd have much of a leg to stand on because of what. Look, he has proven himself to be a very, very effective striker.
Yeah, but 7th, Son. Well, some people might say, is he a striker? Is he a winger? But I think he is a striker. But even if he plays on the wing, he's a forward that scores goals. And I think that can still be considered in top 10 strikers. So 7th.
First of all, I want to say I made a mistake in my list. I didn't include any wingers. My list is purely central strikers. If I included wingers, Son would have been in my top 4. I don't believe there's many better than him in Europe in terms of he's a wide forward. He's always played on the wing, but he's always at the same time, you find him in central positions, because when you have the ability in terms of two-footedness, I mean, ambidextrous, you got Greenwood as well. You've got Son. You've got Kevin De Bruyne. There's not many players who can use both feet as effectively as Son. His goal against Man City on the opening weekend, I think, outside of the box, weaker foot, or just not his strongest foot. Not many players can do that. And I think couple that with his incredible speed, dribbling ability, he's very physically built as well. Like, he's strong on the ball. And his insane finishing, by the way, which is very, very underrated. I would have had him in my top 4. I think 7 is way too low for Son.
I didn't have him down as a striker. I had him more as playing as a winger.
Yeah.
But, you know, he's been an effective striker. Whenever Kane hasn't stepped up to the plate, Son's always there. You know, Son's been the one that Tottenham have looked up to in the past couple of years, with Kane having his injury problems, you know, with his ankle injuries for the past couple of years. Son has always stepped up to the plate. And if Kane left, you know, I believe Son could have stepped up, you know. And
he did.
Had to play. He did, yeah. I mean, I think he came third in top scoring goals last season. I think 19 goals, 10 assists. You know, even though Tottenham were poor last season, Son still did very, very well. And you can see an average Tottenham side, you know, with not much creativity. You know, Son can create something out of nothing. He's the one of the very few players in the Premier League. You know, I don't know. He just creates a chance and scores a goal. Not many players in the Premier League can do that.
I'll say Son is better than Rashford at finishing.
Yes.
Finishing. Then the all-round game, I'm not too sure. They're very similar, but the fact that we're comparing Rashford to Son shows how good or how much better Rashford can be. Rashford's only 23,
24.
Son
now.
24. Son is 29.
I thought he was younger than that.
No, Son is 29. I don't know. Would we consider Son to be in his peak, in his prime right now, or is he yet to get there? Because being at Spurs,
Son is, yeah.
being at Spurs, he's not really going to win anything. He's going to be like Kane.
I think he is in his prime, or it's just he's either in his peak powers right now, which unfortunately are getting wasted at Tottenham. Look, Son leaves Tottenham, he gets into every single team in the world right now, apart from PSG because they have Neymar. The only team he doesn't get into is PSG. He displaces Vinicius at Real Madrid. He takes out Braithwaite at Barcelona or whatever. He gets into Man City team. He gets into our team.
Yeah, of course. He starts.
Yeah, he starts for our team.
He would start. I think he would start ahead of Rashford.
I think he would start ahead of Rashford. Maybe not because it's Rashford in terms of his youth player, star boy, whatever. But Son gets into every single team in the world apart from PSG. Takes out Sane or Coman at Bayern. Look, it's Son. I don't know why I said that is low. That is really low for Son.
I mean,
but I know why, because I didn't vote for him. But you know,
same here.
But ahead of him, Mikel Antonio. I don't know. It could be hard to say this because either based on this season, how he's already performing, maybe clouds our judgment of what position he should be, or maybe he deserves to be there. I think this is purely based on what we've seen of him this season, which is why overall we put him in 6th. But overall, he shouldn't really be there, if we're being brutally honest.
Yeah. I mean, I put him at 6. But the thing is, last season, and even beginning of the season, you know, without Antonio, West Ham don't do as good. Because, you know, every time last season when West Ham were playing a little bad, you know, against the wall, and Antonio just came out, you know, has the desire. The first game against Newcastle, where I think West Ham were defending, they go in the counter attack. Antonio's literally sprinting for the Newcastle box, and they score a goal. You know, he's a player that has desire. Listen, you may not see Antonio as a special player, but he gets the job done, and he's done it quite well for West Ham in the past 2 seasons.
I think. But Anton, where did you have him?
Look, guys, I made a mistake on my list, innit? I thought it was just central strikers. I had him 6th. At the moment, on form in his Premier League form. Let's not talk about his international form. I wanted him to get called up, and he did. But goodness gracious, his Premier League form. He's a top scorer in the league. He's bullying defenders. He's a unit. He's you could see there's a clear progression. His progression arc is like that, or like that at the very least. He's progressed from a right wing back to a right winger to a standing striker to being their number 9 with the number 9 on the back of his shirt as well. And his finishing has improved so much over the past 2 years. I can't remember. I think it might have been the game against Newcastle where he's gone across the keeper and absolutely hammered it. That's not an easy finish. Like, it's not an easy finish at all. Usually them ones, you can drag them wide or sky it. He's perfected just swinging his leg at the ball. And it's just, the balls just fly off his boot into the back of the net. It's much harder than it looks. And I think that's why I have him that high on my list. Maybe, well, definitely not maybe. If I realized it was wingers, he probably wouldn't have made the top 10 because, look, you have players like Sterling, Mane, Salah, who are obviously all ahead of him. But
where would you have put Sterling then?
In my top 10?
Yeah, if you were to do it again, where would you put Sterling?
Between 5 and 7.
Yeah, same here. Yeah,
because
would be 6. Yeah.
Because look, there's so many different arguments for him, Sterling. When you talk about who are the best left wingers in the world, there's probably only a few better than Sterling. In the Premier League, who are the best left wingers? I don't know what's happened to Mane, if I'm totally honest, but I would have Sterling in the top 2. He's on par. I think he's just a bit better than Son, Sterling. I don't know why Sterling's so underrated, because
I feel like
he delivers. Like,
I think he would just about scrape my list.
Nah, I'd put him up maybe 5th, because obviously you have to take into consideration the strikers as well and the right wingers. Like, well, I say the right winger, Salah, because he's the only one on the other side that would be better than Sterling. But you have to take into consideration the strikers as well. So I'd have to put him number 5 or number 5 to number 7.
No, I don't think he would make it top 5 strikers. You ever saying strikers, but he wouldn't make it in the top 5.
I'll
Just because he's scoring goals, like tap-ins and stuff like that. But I don't think he's like a goal scorer. If he wasn't in that City squad, he wouldn't be a goal scorer really like that.
He's 100% in the top 10 though.
Yeah.
Top 5 is arguable, but top 10 100%.
He's one of the best wingers in the world.
Yep.
Yeah, he is one of the best on the wing, but in terms of goal scoring, I think that City squad or that City team, I think it's easy for anyone on the wing to score in that City team.
Who have you voted for from 10 to, as a central striker, who have you voted for from 10 to 6 so far?
Okay, so my 10 to 6, 10th, I had Salah. He didn't even make it on this list.
Oh, this guy's buzzing.
10th, I had Salah, Cavani 9th, Antonio 8th, Aubameyang 7th, and 6th, I had Danny Ings.
Sterling outscores everyone apart from Salah.
Yep. 100%.
Gets more assists than everyone apart from probably even more than Salah.
But this is how I'm seeing it. Goal scoring. If I need someone to score a goal, I know that Sterling's not the one, because Sterling only works in that system. I'm telling you, that City system, anyone can score. Put David De Gea left wing, he's gonna score in that City system.
I hear what you're saying.
You hear what I'm saying?
Like, let me be serious. Like, I know what you're saying, but if that's the case, then forget City. You have every team has a system. 90% of teams have system.
Yeah.
Like it's Premier League football. You're not playing Premier League football. You're not managing a Premier League team. You're not playing in a Premier League team if you can't play a system. It's not playground football. As many jokes that fly around, Arsenal have a system. It's not the best system, but you're in the Premier League and you're a very well-established Premier League side. You can't just put anyone in that City team and have it work. Otherwise, they wouldn't ever buy anyone. They would just bring everyone through their youth. Do you know what I mean? It's like Liverpool. It doesn't just work with certain people. You have to get the best players that can actually do it. Same with Manchester United. Look, I couldn't tell you exactly what the system is. It's a bit tricky to understand, but we wouldn't have sold Dan James. We wouldn't have had to go and get Bruno Fernandes because Pereira would have been able to do the job. James would have been able to do. Do you know what I mean? So it's the fact that Sterling's there producing the best numbers in terms of goal scoring. I mean, I would say I don't know if that's off the top of my head, but his goal plus assists over the past few years is definitely in the top 2 for Manchester City. And that's why I have to put him on a pedestal that he's deserved to be on and he's earned the right to be there, because he produces 20 plus goals a season consistently now. And that's just goals. That's not assists as well.
It shows a lot with Sterling, and a manager like Pep Guardiola put so much trust in him. If he's had a bad game, a couple of bad games, missed a sitter, Pep put his faith in him and said, "No, I'm going to start Sterling." I like Sterling. He's a very good player, and Sterling has shown that he's repaid the faith. I think a couple of seasons ago at 18-19, he got 17 goals, 10 assists. So he does put up the numbers. And one call upon, I believe, like this season, when Man City don't really have a world-class striker like an Aguero, Sterling's going to step up, and I think 100% Sterling will step up and probably hit around 16, 17 goals this season as well.
I think I agree with both of you, but I think it's about how we're both interpreting it. How I'm seeing it is, when I think of striker, I think there's a difference between being a goal scorer, which is like Sterling's a goal scorer in that system, but then also being, as a striker, he's playing on the wing and scoring goals. But I'm saying, if he was to literally if I had to rely on someone to score goals or to be a striker, like Son can play up front in any team, I think that's how I'm thinking of it.
You said like 1-1 90th minute. Who do you want that one-on-one?
Yeah, and if we need to play attacking and need Sterling to go up front, is he gonna score the goal? Kind of thing. That's how I'm kind of basing it off. And that's why I think scrapes.
I remember when was it? Oh shit! I remember when Sterling. I want to Sterling.
But yeah, that's why Sterling just about scrapes top 10. Just about.
I understand your argument, and I do agree with it, but I cannot have him that low. He still have to be in a top 5 to 7 to me. And there was I read an article the other day, and someone interviewed Raheem Sterling about how Pep Guardiola and how being at Manchester City has developed his finishing ability, like specifically his finishing ability. When he first got to Man City, one of the coaching staff asked him what goes, because when he was at Liverpool, he scored a few goals, but there was a lot of rushing, there was a lot of rash shots and stray balls or whatever. Someone asked him, what goes through your mind when you're in a position to shoot? And his response was that he was excited. It's like a rush. Like, you can see in his time at City, with the help of Guardiola, with the help of De Bruyne, all of these, Aguero, he's being tutored by Aguero at the same time. You have all of these players helping him out, and he's come to a stage where he's calm in front of goal. Like, he still misses a couple of easy chances like everyone does, but he's way more calm in front of goal, and he looks like not a natural finisher, but he looks like he knows how to just compose himself in front of goal now. And that's why he gets so many goals.
Yeah, what are you going to say, Sam?
And I was going to say, I remember the thing that Sterling in the 90th minute, he's done it before. I think played Southampton a couple of years ago, where Sterling came up with a outside the box finesse shot and 90+6 to win Man City the game. And the game where he did, I mean, it was disallowed, but in the quarterfinal against Tottenham,
Champions League.
Yep, he did score the last goal, but Aguero was offside. So he has shown he can pull up the level.
I do definitely agree with that, and he is obviously one of the best in his position in the world. But I know a lot of City fans who would say that they sometimes can't trust him because of the amount of chances he does sometimes miss, even though his stats do show that he still scores and assists a lot. So, got a comment here from Idris, says his top 10 wingers. We'll quickly go through this. So, we'll start from his 10th. Wait, so he has Mbappe 10th in the world. I'm
sorry, Jota's name does not belong there.
And then Jota 9th. Yeah, this is why okay. Jota 9th. This he shouldn't be there. Wait, how can Jota be better than Mbappe?
Look at the names around Jota. Look at the names, and then Jota is right there.
He can't be here. Okay, Ronaldo. Okay, he's not really a winger anymore, but okay. Neymar. Mane above Neymar.
Neymar honestly should be top of that list.
Yes.
Is Messi a winger?
Yeah, I think Messi is still considered as a winger. So he has Messi first. Yeah, I think Messi still.
Messi first and then Neymar second.
Salah. I feel like Salah's just underrated because he does still score. I think Salah's the most underrated player in the league because he scores so many goals.
I reckon Salah should be just play through the middle, man. That's what
you saw the game against Chelsea, the big penalty, ice in his veins, sends the goalkeeper the wrong way.
Put Salah through the middle when he scores 10 more goals in the league, I promise you.
100%.
Because his finishing ability is ridiculous. Like, it's actually, he doesn't finish like a winger. Wingers, I don't know, they don't finish like a striker should or do. Like, Harry Kane finishes differently to someone like Leroy Sané or Sadio Mane. But Salah's like
Salah is a striker. He's a striker. He's a goal scorer. But I feel like he's best on the wing. I feel like some strikers are literally better on the wing, even though they might be very good at finishing. They're just better to play them on the wing.
I'd have Salah on the last man. Obviously, you're not catching him. I feel like you're wasting a few goals. You put Salah at striker, keep Mane on the left, but then you'd get a right winger who'd literally just put the ball through for him to get on the end of, or link it up, or just have people closer to him and play those little passes between the centre back and the fullback, or the two centre backs. Like, Salah's the most natural finisher I've seen play on the wing in a long time, and I feel like if he wasn't as fast as he was, he'd have been put a striker a long time ago. Because I feel like, do you know that it's just like if you're fast, you just when you're young, if you're the fastest in the team, you play on the wing, and that's just. I feel like that happened to him and it just stuck. But if he was positioned as a striker for a whole season, I guarantee you he gets more goals. Guarantee it.
Yeah, 100%.
And as you can see, 5th place, Danny Ings, Aston Villa man. He does score in the Prem. He is a recognised goal scorer in the Prem. But 5th place, 5th best striker in the Premier League.
There's no doubt he's good. You know, he's a great striker in the Premier League. He guarantees you goals, at least over 10 goals a season. But above, I mean, the tens of strikers in the Premier League, he's 5th. I mean, I had him. I kind of messed up. I had him 5th. But I thought it was central strikers, and I thought in the past couple of seasons, and even this season now, you know, he's hit the ground running with Aston Villa. Aston Villa spent a big, but I think 30 million for Danny Ings from Southampton. 30 million. I think it was around that, or somewhere around that fee. Last season, with the past 2 seasons, Southampton they scored 16 goals last season, and he nearly won the Golden Boot in the 1920 season, where I think it was 21 goals that year, which basically kept Southampton up the last 2 years with goals.
I think that's why I had him. I had him 6th. I had him there because he is literally in the Prem. He guarantees you goals, as Sam said, 10 plus goals, maybe 15 plus goals a season. He guarantees you goals. He can't go wrong. Even if he might have his injuries, he still manages to get past that mark. So,
do you think he's better than Greenwood? Do you think he's a better finisher than Greenwood?
Of course not. Greenwood is the best finisher in the league.
Look, so let me ask you a question. Obviously, this Ings at 5th is an inaccurate representation because I wouldn't have put him on my list. As I said, I've said it again. I'll keep saying it. I didn't include any wingers because I just misread the criteria. I can think of 10 players better than Danny Ings right now that play on the wing and up front in the Premier League. I don't like. He's a very good striker, innit? As a central striker, I had him at 5th, I think. But if you're going to include the wingers as well, you can't put him in the top 10. I just don't think you can.
I think you can because he does guarantee you goals in the Premier League.
Yeah, but
wingers might be better than him, but then not all wingers score more than him.
But Salah scores more than him. Mane scores more than him.
Mane. Okay.
Yeah. Do you know what? Mane is. I don't know. I can't talk about Mane that much because has he dropped off?
He has dropped off, but he can easily get back to that stage.
I don't know, man. I think that hair transplant is changing, doing something to his ability because, like, he has, like, it's very visible. But I have a lot of Liverpool fan friends in it, so like, every time I talk about a Liverpool player, you know, it gets swept under the rug or it gets, Rashford, you know what I mean? So I never know if I'm seeing the right things or not. But I wouldn't put Danny Ings 5th if I had included wingers. Even though he does guarantee you goals, I believe some wingers guarantee you more goals.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's fair. But this guy who's next definitely has to be in this list.
Yeah,
Jamie
100%.
Vardy, 4th place.
I definitely voted for him.
Same here. I had him 4th.
You didn't vote for him.
I know. I forgot. Like Calvert-Lewin. It's exactly the same as Calvert-Lewin. I forgot he existed.
But yeah, Vardy. But you're saying Vardy definitely should be in this list, but you're saying Ings shouldn't.
I think Vardy's way ahead. Vardy, look, in the Premier League, if I'm talking about central strikers now, you have Harry Kane, and then I think it has to be Jamie Vardy next. What other strikers do you have? Aguero's not here anymore. But, Ronaldo technically hasn't played yet.
I'm still just saying, but Ings, you're saying Ings shouldn't be top 10, but Vardy should.
Vardy took Leicester to the Premier League, man.
Yeah.
Vardy won the Golden Boot. Vardy's had a consistent goal scoring record. Ings, unfortunately, his career has been blighted by injuries. Mm-hmm. And I feel like if he didn't have injuries, he would be ahead of Jamie Vardy. He would be playing for the England team, you know. He would have had 60, 70, 80 more goals to his name. Because it's not just the goals that you miss when you don't play through injuries. It's the goals that you miss when you're coming back from injury and positions, the runs that you don't make because the stuff that's going inside your head. So like, if injuries didn't touch Ings, I think he would be ahead of Vardy. But I think Vardy definitely 100% is better than Danny Ings.
Yeah, but there's also like, has there ever been a time, okay, Danny Ings has never been considered as the top level strikers in Europe. Well, Jamie Vardy from 2016, 2017 has been considered to be one of the best strikers in Europe. And every year, everyone thinks, his age or he's going to drop off. But every year he gets better and better. And he's 33 years of age, and he's still scoring over 15 goals a Premier League season. When really at this age, he should be slowing down. He's still going on.
Yeah, that's true. Vardy is, was it 30? What? 3?
34.
Yeah, I think that's.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was saying I think that's fair enough for the age he is and to be performing at that consistent level. I think it does show that he is still obviously world class and he has been considered as world class.
Yeah, 100%. Listen, I think Jamie Vardy, when it's all said and done, I think he'll be regarded as one of the, best strikers to play in the Premier League. Not the top 10, but around the top. Saying people will talk about Vardy, think something special. Like, there's gonna 100% there'll be a movie about his career in football because it's truly special.
Japan or something, or
yeah,
America. I think they make one now, but he's a rags to riches story, isn't he? And he's shown that. Well, I don't know, like. I feel like if he didn't start so late in his career, I feel like he would be respected a little bit more because look, he's not the most technically gifted player in the world, but he's still very, very good with the ball at his feet. He's definitely improved that aspect of his game because he's a player that relies a lot on his pace, coming up, and when he did so well for Leicester when they won the league. When that event inevitably does start to fade away, I feel like because of what he's done to improve the rest of his game, his overall game isn't really going to decrease that much, because before it was one ball over the top or a couple of passes and a ball over the top to Vardy's pace, but now he's getting assists and now he's linking up the play. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's improving other aspects of his game, and I think that's what he's very, very good at now. He's obviously thinking about his career management, and he's doing a good job of it, and that's why I think he's still posting very, very good numbers.
Yeah.
Top three. I was gonna do it 3, 2, 1, but I think it's best that we discuss this instead of it's best to discuss this. Top 3: Lukaku, Kane, Ronaldo. I'm gonna say this right now. Ronaldo is the best striker in the league. Cristiano Ronaldo is the best striker in the league, in the Premier League 2021, 2022.
I'm gonna say Romelu Lukaku is the best striker in Premier League, and Romelu Lukaku will be the top scorer. I believe he will score around or over 25 goals this season.
Why do you think Lukaku is going to be the top scorer? Why do you think he's going to score more than Ronaldo?
I think I look at the team around him, the way Lukaku plays. I think everything in Chelsea is perfect for him. You not Ronaldo.
Kane's going to score more than Lukaku.
I don't see. I think you got Mason Mount there, you got Kai Havertz there to create for him. Timo Werner, I know he's not the best finisher, but on the wing, next to him, you got Chelsea play a back three system where he's got the wing backs, playing balls into him. So you know what, everything in that Chelsea system is suited for Lukaku, and I think Lukaku will thrive in that system. It was a similar system that Antonio Conte used at Inter, which dragged Inter Milan to a league title last year. So I can see the same happening here with Chelsea.
Lukaku, that system, Lukaku didn't score the most goals in the league in that system.
It was Ronaldo.
Ronaldo.
It was Ronaldo's.
I feel like
it was Cristiano.
I feel like Lukaku is not. He will definitely score lots of goals this season, but I don't think he's scoring more than Kane, and I don't think he's scoring more than Ronaldo. Just because I feel like we say Chelsea have a lot of service, Mount, the wing backs, Havertz, Werner, but they're also going to score goals. not just Lukaku. It's not solely Lukaku who's going to score goals. Lukaku will also get a lot of assists in that team. But I feel like with Ronaldo in Man United, he's the one everyone looks for. When Ronaldo is in your team, no one else scores. Ronaldo is the one that scores. Literally, look at Portugal. Look at Juve. Ronaldo is the one that scores goals when he's in any team. And
this is going to happen a lot this season with Manchester United, whether we playing poorly, the game's level, 85th, 88th minute, and then Cristiano Ronaldo steps up and scores a goalie.
exactly.
I don't know. That's going to happen a lot this season.
Say it again. MRG says Lukaku still has to show he can bully the top sides. Yeah.
Guess who has shown that?
Listen, this is a different Lukaku. This isn't a Lukaku from a couple of years ago where he's at Manchester United. This is a new reborn Lukaku who's out here for revenge. I think there's an extra chip on his shoulder this time.
Yeah, but we've already seen it against Liverpool where he was just getting bodied by Van Dijk, who is it? Yeah.
I mean,
and Matip.
We're being real with it. Chelsea should have won that game, but
they didn't. You put Ronaldo in that team. You put Ronaldo in that game. I'm telling you now, you're gonna lick the ball top bins from whatever angle, how far up, because he's Ronaldo.
Anton's won.
You know what? I'm not scared this season.
You're not scared?
I'm not scared this season. I used to be scared going to Anfield. I used to be scared playing City. Well, we beat City anyway in the league, but I used to be scared Chelsea, Anfield. I'm not scared at all. I'm confident for every single game.
So do you think you're going to win the league this season?
Yes, I believe we're going to win the league.
I predicted we're going to win the league this season, and we're going to win. But if not the league, we'll win the Champions League.
So you're going to say just that Manchester United have the best team in the Premier League?
You know what? Yeah, do you want me to be really honest with you?
Yeah.
You take out Fred. Look, it looks like he's not going to be able to play for the next couple games. So this is tiny bit of a sidetrack. But if we're talking about the best team, we don't have Fred for the next couple games. So it gives, hopefully, it gives Van der Beek the opportunity to actually play and say to Ollie, this is why you need to play me even when Fred is available for selection. If he grasps that opportunity, Ollie's going to have to deal with fans. He's going to have to deal with media pressure, and he's going to have to sit down and take a look and think to himself, maybe I have been wrong. Maybe I just need to, swallow my pride and actually play Van der Beek because he does a better job than Fred. He's more effective. If Van der Beek comes in, proves himself, displaces Fred, you have one of the best keepers in the league. You have the best left back in the league. You have probably the best pairing in the league at centre back, Maguire and Varane. You have one of the best right backs in the league. Then you go on to the midfield. You have Van der Beek, who has already established himself as one of the best in his position before he came to United. You have him. You have Bruno Fernandes, who is the most effective player in the league. You have Paul Pogba, who I think is the best centre midfielder in the league. You then have Ronaldo up front, the highest goal scorer in the history of football, who is still operating at ridiculous levels. You have Mason Greenwood or Jadon Sancho on the right. And you have Marcus Rashford on the left when he comes back. I genuinely believe with that team or those players on the pitch, whatever formation you want to play, we have the best team in the league. In terms of the starting 11, you have a little bit of squad depth in every position, I think. Maybe the only team that comes close or pushes us there is Chelsea, I think.
I mean, I see you being in the title race, up until the final weeks of the season, but I don't see Manchester United winning the Premier League because I see Chelsea as a better side. Max, I can see you getting to the Champions League semi-final. You'll 100% win a trophy this season, whether it be an FA Cup or Carabao Cup.
That's not what I want to hear.
The only reason I think we'll win the league, because we're definitely going to be in the title race. We came second last season. We're definitely going to be in the race. But the only reason I say we're going to win the league is because of Ronaldo. The Ronaldo effect is going to be enormous.
But you know what? I think Gary Neville came out and said that if United finish third or fourth with it will still be a success if they finish with a higher points tally, because I think it's so top heavy in the Premier League where you could finish fourth but be like 3 or 4 points off the title. So even if Man United, it depends on context. If Man United finish third or fourth, say 3 or 4 points off the season, I'll say the season's been a massive success. If you finish third or fourth, 10, 11 points away from the season, it's been a failure of a season, and questions have to be asked about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. and his future at Manchester United.
Look,
The thing is, people are saying that City and Chelsea have better managers, and yeah, that's true. However, we've improved a lot. We came second last season. We got to the finals. It's just that final step. Yes, we were second, but a lot of points behind City. But it's just those things we need to improve on. It's about the draws, not picking up those points. This season will make up those points. I think we'll make it up.
I mean, but you make up those points, but so will us and other teams. Chelsea, prior to Tuchel, were poor, and then when Tuchel came in, they've been one of the best teams in the league. So Thomas Tuchel has a full season. Liverpool have got Virgil van Dijk back. Hopefully, maybe they can players can stay fit. And Man City, Man City will always be in the top. So I think you will improve, but will you improve better than everyone else?
I think we will. Look, we finished second last season. We got 10. We drew 10 games. This was before Ronaldo came, by the way. I've been saying this. You bring Varane in, you concede less goals. You bring Sancho in, that he 20 assists in his last 3 seasons, like each season. You bring in someone who can create more goals and score more goals. Instantly, you draw less games. I put that I'm half that. You go from 10 draws to 5 draws, so then you get 10 more points instantly, and then you don't lose a couple of games, and then you get about 6 more points or something like that. Now we have Ronaldo, like, as well. I said all of that before Ronaldo even. This was months ago. I was saying this, by the way. You have one of the only players in the world who guarantees you goals in almost every game he plays. Plus Bruno, who guarantees you a goal contribution in every game he plays. Plus Sancho, who does almost the same thing. Plus Pogba, who guarantees you some sort of chance creation. Plus, you have at the back, we're going to see a lot more clean sheets. You have a proven winner and one of the best centre-backs over the last 10 years, partnering Harry Maguire. Like, I don't see how everyone is still talking about, Ollie's a clown. We finished second last year and got to a final. I mean, we didn't play well in the final, but we just lost that final. And you've added Sancho, Varane, and Ronaldo.
So look around Ollie. You look around Ollie. Thomas Tuchel you see as a better manager. You've got Jurgen Klopp you see as a better manager. You've got Pep Guardiola as a better manager. So I believe if you had someone like Antonio Conte this season, he would win the league. I say confidently, Man United win the league. But it's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Sorry, I think main issue.
But even if we continue to play on the counter attack, who's good? It doesn't matter if we play on the counter attack. We can literally still outscore anyone. We can still create so many chances. And it's about finishing those chances. Now we have Ronaldo who's going to finish those chances.
Exactly.
We have the whole... I think our team, even if the manager's not the best, can still win.
It's not like we finished 5th last season. We finished 2nd last season. Like, any other team finishes 2nd and they get applauded, they get praised for it. But Man United finished 2nd because of Ollie. It's like, he's a clown. Anybody else would have won the league. Klopp finished 3rd. Yes, Tuchel only had half a season, but he finished 4th. Like, he finished above these managers.
But I mean, look at Klopp's team last year. I mean, he was no bad again. He was playing with Nat Phillips and Ozan Kabak in the back line, and he had basically next to no midfield last season, and he was dealing with a lot of injuries. Maybe that won't happen next season. Maybe Liverpool. I think they finished a couple at 5 or 7. I think 7 points behind you. Liverpool will make up the ground because Van Dijk will probably give you an extra 12 points, 13 points a season. They got hopefully Diego Jota will be fit for the whole season. He was boiling out, but before he got injured in the Champions League.
But I can just say the same thing. When Solskjaer came in after Mourinho got sacked, we finished in the top 4. We finished in the top 4, right?
You finished 6th that year.
Yeah, we didn't.
Snap. Oh, never mind. I thought we finished 4th that year.
I think that's the season.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
After.
We just missed out, like, on the last couple games, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. My argument's just out the window.
So are we saying Ronaldo first?
Yeah, for me, Ronaldo's first.
Can we agree? Can we all agree on that?
I mean, I thought Ronaldo third.
You know what? Ronaldo. I want Ronaldo to be first, but if Kane was first, I couldn't have an argument for it because it's Kane.
Yeah, because Kane has literally done it.
Last
season, Kane did both assists and goals.
Still didn't get Player of the Year though, which is ridiculous.
But yeah, I think if we put Kane above Ronaldo, it's fine. Ronaldo always has to prove himself, and he will. So let's put Kane. Ronaldo will be second for now.
Sorry, how does Ronaldo have haters? How does Ronaldo have people that doubt him?
Everyone, that's what I don't get.
It's because he's a Man United legend. Because he's a Man United player once again. You're looking at no one has outscored him. The Champions League, international football, in the history of football, and people are saying he's not going to cut it in the Premier League. Come on, man. Ronaldo first. Ronaldo is first. Ronaldo is first.
Relax. Bro. Come on, no. I'll put Ronaldo third. Harry Kane second. I'll put Lukaku first.
No, tell me.
Wait, Lukaku first. Wait, how are you putting Lukaku above,
just because he dragged Mary from the halfway line and into the box? That's why.
No,
that's why.
Lukaku's gonna be. I see that. I know you think we now have a good outlook, but I think Chelsea's far more better suited for Lukaku. I look at the players around Chelsea, Rudiger, Havertz, Mason Mount, Reece James, even sometimes Marcos Alonso, who is a very good attacker. There's a lot of things for Lukaku to do, and he will do well.
So you're saying Lukaku is a better striker than Kane and Ronaldo?
Because that's the question. It's not what team is going to fit best with these guys. It's who's the best striker.
The individual.
Listen, I think it's all three of them. This is a hard. They're all neck and neck. In my opinion.
Okay, let me ask you. Let me ask you 4 questions. Yeah. Out of the 3, who is the best finisher?
I'd say Harry Kane is one of the best finishers here.
You're not coming back on this channel, man.
No, it's fair. No, that's fair.
It's not fair. You got Ronaldo.
Wait, Harry Kane,
best finisher. Best finisher. I think
Ronaldo is the best finisher. I can understand the argument, but Ronaldo is the best finisher. You're talking about a guy who's scoring 60, 70 goals a season. You don't do that if you're not a good finisher.
I mean, Kane has been at Tottenham, who are a poor team, and Kane's still above in European scoring charts, in the Premier League scoring charts. He's always up there, no matter how bad his team is.
Has he ever scored? Has he ever? You've got to be stuttering. Has he ever scored 50 plus goals? You don't do that.
Yeah, in the league, in 2017, Harry Kane scored about around 60 goals.
That was one season. That was good. That was good. But look, Ronaldo he's not the best finisher of all time. But you're not, I'm going to say once again, you're not the all-time record goal scorer in the history of football unless you're 100% in the top 2 or 3 finishers of all time. It's like Messi. I'd put Messi as probably the best finisher of all time. Ronaldo has to be second there.
But then people say about conversion rate. Ronaldo just takes a lot of shots, and then obviously one of them is going to go in.
Kane takes a lot of shots.
Kane doesn't necessarily take that many shots. He's more clinical.
Where's my keyboard? My keyboard is on the other side of it.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Harry Kane is one of the most clinical strikers. So in finishing wise, I'll take Harry. And in terms of finishing, Harry Kane just edges over Ronaldo. Just.
I don't disagree with that, but then at the same time, I understand Anton's point of view that obviously you don't score that many goals for no reason. It's a hard one.
But the thing about, I always say, people have said about Harry Kane is if he wasn't at Tottenham, and this is why he was dying for that Man City move with some, if he had world class, creative players around him, Kane can double his game. He is being held back by Tottenham.
Are you searching it?
I thought I'm looking at a list right now. Someone's already made a list of the top 10 strikers in Europe last season just on their conversion rate. Cristiano Ronaldo's 9th on that list. I was making that face because I thought I was going to see Harry Kane. He's not even on the list. Son is actually technically the best because he has a conversion rate of 42%. Oh wow. Yeah, so what's this conversion rate argument? Because
it was not conversion, that's the finisher. I see Harry Kane.
Forget
just
it.
Edges Ronaldo.
So out of those 3, what, because you put Lukaku first, in what department is Lukaku better than anything in either of those 2?
I think
because he has to be better than them at both of them or something.
I watched Lukaku at Inter last year. I mean, in terms of pace, he's a pacey forward. He can get in behind the line. Listen, Lukaku. I know you're gonna say also is Ronaldo, but Lukaku is a sensational aerial threat, and you're gonna say so is Ronaldo as well. But
Because Ronaldo is the best best in the
how?
air in the
But
world.
I know.
Surely,
Did you
surely
see his two
But
goals?
Lukaku,
Did you see his 2 goals against Ireland?
I'll say Lukaku will be better than Cristiano Ronaldo this season.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. You're gonna make me change it. You can put Ronaldo
We're gonna
number
do
one
this.
all you
We're
want.
gonna do this episode at the end of the season. You have to
Yeah.
It can clip it up, but Lukaku will be top goal scorer. I think Ronaldo will be around second or third. That's what I generally think.
Okay, he's spoken.
Yeah.
Have nothing to say.
You can clip this up and show this in May. I'll have no regrets.
We'll wait and see.
Oh, Lukaku has a higher conversion rate than Ronaldo. I forgot to mention.
Okay.
by 4%.
You know, all these players just about. All these players are on the same level, but they just edge each other.
They're not on the same level. I think Kane and Ronaldo are way above Lukaku.
Yeah.
But I mean, some people are still thinking about Lukaku of his days at Manchester United. They're not thinking about him in the past couple of years where he has been one of Europe's best strikers. He has been one of Europe's best strikers.
Do you know what? One thing Ronaldo does guarantee, same as Kane, shots on goal. Look, I'm reading stats here now. Look, he averages a total of a shot every 17 minutes. And with his goal scoring record, he's just going to score more goals, man. I'm just so excited to see what he does add to our team because I'm thinking about Ronaldo, but I'm also thinking about players like Bruno Fernandes. He might have to sacrifice part of his game to, accommodate Ronaldo, but it's Ronaldo. So can you really complain?
So we'll see at the end of the season.
See at the end.
Right.
Anyway, yeah, looking forward to this weekend fixtures. Obviously, the Premier League's back on Saturday. Crystal Palace, Spurs, Arsenal, Norwich in the relegation battle. We have Brentford, Brighton, Leicester, Man City, Ronaldo's debut against Newcastle, Southampton, West Ham, Watford, Wolves, Chelsea, Aston Villa. Sunday, Leeds, Liverpool, and then Monday, Everton, Burnley. Expect nothing but a Ronaldo hat-trick on Saturday. Timu Puki, brace. And yeah, Antonio to get another goal. And wait, let's look at... Oh yeah, I was going to say look at the fantasy, but anyway, we'll look at that on the weekend.
Oh yeah. Sam, what's your fantasy team if you have one? We go through this at the end of pretty much every episode at this point, of anything.
My team, I have Kasper Schmeichel. As a back three, I have Kasper Schmeichel. In the back three is Reece James, Ruben Diaz, Harry Maguire. I got James Maddison. I did kind of go cheaper with this. Nicola Pepe, Jorginho, Grealish, Saka, Ivan Toney, and Lukaku.
I don't know when you're getting points, boy.
Yeah.
Look.
I don't know
where are your points coming from.
Listen, it's supposed to come from Lukaku. That's what's going to come.
Arsenal has a chokehold on you. You got Pepe in your squad.
Wow.
Yep.
Anyway, I rearranged my team. Obviously, I had to get the new boy, Ronaldo. Obviously, I think this team is winning me the league. I don't know if you can see it. Will it focus?
There we go. It's the screen. Varane. Why you got Varane?
What do you mean by I got Varane?
Stones, Arnold, Fernandes, Basuma, Rice, Salah. Is it Emmanuel Dennis?
Yeah, Dennis, Antonio, Ronaldo.
Nah,
I'm telling you, this
I'm not
team.
going to lie. Nah,
this team. No, what do you mean? Nah.
Last time I put my phone up to the camera broke, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just gonna say it. Yeah, I'm playing a 3-5-2. I tweeted it out. I genuinely believe I have the best fantasy Premier League team about right now. After my wild card, had to get Ronaldo in, so I had to readjust everyone. I got Lloris in goal, João Cancelo, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and Emerson Royal, like the new Tottenham right back, in defense. Got Fernandes, Damara Gray, Said Benrahma, Mason Greenwood, and Ferran Torres in the middle. And I got up front Cristiano Ronaldo, and of course, the main man himself, Mikel Antonio. I cannot see me getting any less than 65 points a week, 70 points a week. I can't.
What do you mean? What you get 42 points this weekend?
I got 49 last week or last game match day. Nah, 60, 65, 70 points easy every single week because you have guaranteed goals or assists in that team every week. You look at Manchester United, we're never going to go a game without scoring. And Greenwood's going to be there. Ronaldo's going to be there. Fernandes. Those are our main sources of goals now. Mikel Antonio is Said Benrahma, main source of goals for West Ham. Demarai Gray, I've only put him in because he has had a good start and he was what I had left of my budget. Ferran Torres seems to be playing that striker role for Man City at the moment. And he's been on the, on good form. Cancelo's playing as well. Trent Alexander-Arnold, obviously, like you can't build a fantasy team without Trent. And Emerson, I mean, Auria's left, contract terminated, and Doherty just doesn't seem to be that in favor. However, what's his name? Nuno is the manager, and he did have him at Wolves, so I don't know if he's going to play now over Emerson, but they haven't conceded a goal yet either. That's why I have Lloris. Like that's an easy 60 points a week. 65.
You used the wild card, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to do that as well.
Game week 3, and
change everyone.
In game week 3, I got 40 points.
I only got 49, man. I don't know. My team last week was that's a trick. Look, you got Sue Fowl. It's not even that bad of a team, but Jota's so unreliable. He got 1 point. Reece James got sent off as well. So, and Richarlison, I took him out because he's just a bit of a waste man.
But yeah,
I think I've got this in the bag.
Yeah, I think that rounds up the episode. I actually wanted to end the episode slightly different, not football related, but random thought to get you thinking before we end the show. I want to get your thoughts. Don't laugh, but I want to get your thoughts on chicken and apple.
What?
Yes,
together
chicken
as a combination
and apple. Chicken and apple, yeah.
What about it? Like
to eat.
So you have to tell us how you're eating this.
So you have a plate.
Did it bring
You have a plate of food.
You
have a piece of chicken and you have apple. And you eat them together.
I can't even imagine it.
No chance. No chance.
No.
I think apple would be
people are gonna say, oh, that's disgusting, but you need to try stuff. You need to broaden your taste buds. You need to explore new things.
Do you know what? It depends on the apple.
What do you mean?
Because I don't really eat apples that much. I don't like apples that much. But I would only eat Granny Smith apple because it's like sour. So I couldn't have that with chicken.
Well, why?
Because it's sour.
I mean,
you tried
it's like tangy. Like, I'm trying to imagine that I haven't eaten an apple in years. I eat other fruit. I just don't like apples that much.
Okay, fair enough.
But I can't imagine. Is it chicken and rice? Is it just chicken and apple?
With hot sauce?
You cut.
Yeah, like what?
Slice. You cut a bit of chicken and you sliced apples and then
on the same fork.
Yes.
This guy is.
Yes.
No, I can't imagine.
I'll send you a snap when I eat it next time.
Oh, you eat it? Of what?
Oh my god! I thought you said someone else did it.
We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Put that on Twitter. I dare you.